Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be. This is Jim Sports Cards. I'm Jim, but let's talk about Jim Sports Cards this time rather than sports cards in general. This is going to be one take. I'm not going to try and edit this, so sorry if there's mess ups. And also, I've turned off all of my fans, shut the window, and it's like 30 degrees in here. So forgive me for making it brief. It's going to be about a 10-15 minute video, and there will be more to come. But this is just to give you guys an update of where I've been, what I've been doing, what the plan is for Jim Sports Cards moving forward, and what that's going to look like. So, for those of you that don't know, at the start of May, I decided to cease all operations. Not cease all operations, that's a bit dramatic. I decided to stop taking in new submissions for PSA and SGC. There will be a separate video on that, what happened, what I learned, and anyone that ever knows or has asked me or messages me knows that I am always 100% transparent, and I will be in that video, but that's not for this video. The long story short of that is I got way too busy, realised it a little bit too late, service was dropping, service was poor, response times from me was poor, all round I wasn't giving the service that I would want to pay for myself if I was just a normal card collector like many of you watching this. And ultimately I decided, cool, enough's enough, I need to stop, I need to get on top of things, I need to rethink the way I do some things, and then we'll see where we are. A lot has changed since I stopped like 2.5-3 months ago now, and I'll cover that in a separate video, but the scene's changed a lot. So the main points are, yes, I am still doing submissions. There'll be a separate video coming out later this week on the London card show that's next week. We will be accepting submissions there. And actually, I just said something there. One thing that I want to change and one thing that I will change, I always say we. I always thought of Jim Sports Cards as something bigger than myself, which sounds really lame because you're like, oh, it's just one guy grading cards. But when you start your own business, you want it to be something more than just you. You want it to be big. And every time there's ever a video or an Instagram, I made sure that I always said we. It's just me. It's always been just me. I've got a very, very good friend who helps me out at card shows. You might have seen him. But ultimately in the business, it's just me. And moving forward, it is just me. I'm Jim Sports Cards. It's me alone. There is no we. So that's something I want to make clear. I am still doing submissions for people. However, it will not be as time intensive as it once was. It was taking over at least 35-40 hours a week on top of my normal day job doing everything, and that can't happen. So the two things that are happening with that is that everything is being made easier, more automated, and an easier process. We've already implemented I've already implemented a new tracking system on the website for you guys to track your orders. There's going to be more things like that are coming. There's going to be more standardization, more expected dates, and more this happens here. So you guys don't have to chase as much. I'm also going to take down a lot of the forms of communication. So you won't be able to message us through Instagram for anything. You won't be able to message us through Facebook. There will just be one email account that will be monitored by me, ultimately, that will reply to all grading queries, such as where's my card, blah, blah, blah. You might get a generic answer if it might just be a link to a sheet, or if it's something a bit more personal, then we'll deal with that. But the other part of that is grading's not going to be my main focus. Everything's going to be automated and it's going to be quicker. But before, I was always trying to grow and be bigger and be the biggest in the UK. And I had a lot of ambitions around that. Instead, what I'm now doing is focusing on the things that I actually enjoy more. I love grading cards for people. I'll be completely 100 with you. I do not enjoy dealing with customs forms and exports and dealing with FedEx. And I don't enjoy sitting here packing up 300 cards in cardboard boxes and sleeves and doing all of the postage. That stuff takes hours and hours, and I feel like I'm just doing admin work. And whilst that stuff always has to happen, I don't want it to be all of my time. So I looked at myself, and I've been off for like 3 months, and I've had a good long hard look at myself, and I thought, what do you want to do? And the answer is have fun. It's do things that I enjoy. So what this entire brand page, whatever you want to call it, will become, it's going to become more fun. It's going to be more content based. You're going to see me making more random videos of, this has happened. What do we think? This is what I think. New Panini sets come out. What do we think? In the future, I'm going to be doing hobby box openings, retail box openings, giving you my thoughts and opinions, and doing things that I think that I enjoy and still immersing myself in the hobby, but also things that you guys will enjoy and things that you guys will value. So I think that's really important. The grading will still stay the same, but you'll be getting a ton of content from me, whether it's, oh, I bought this card as an investment, what do you guys think? Or whether it'll be a video of a card show. I won't always be going to card show as a vendor anymore. At the moment, the plan is any London South-based one, I'll be a vendor, maybe a couple of others. But like, for example, I'll be going to the Cardiff show in September, I believe it is. I'll be there just as a collector. I will not be there in a grading capacity. I'm just there to go and have a good time and enjoy it, because I am so envious every time I'm at a card show and everyone's walking around getting all the deals, walking around opening boxes, and I love inspecting and grading the cards for you guys, but there's a huge part of me that is itching to walk around and have fun myself. So that's the plan moving forward. What I want to make sure is you will not get a worse service for the grading because of all of this stuff. I'm just making it simpler and more automated. More news will come of that next week, but one of the introductions will be pre-grades themselves, something I haven't always been willing to do because I don't think they're super valuable, but my opinion isn't the only one that matters. So, for example, one thing that will happen is, I haven't quite decided, it will either be every Wednesday or Thursday, there'll be an online sheet with your order number and your card submission number with us. Every Thursday, the order sheet will be updated with pre-grades, and then by Friday evening, you'll have an opportunity to tell me if you don't want to proceed with the grades anymore. Rather than me, a lot of you guys would have experienced me dropping you a message saying, hey, by the way, I noticed this scratch in your card. I don't think it will grade better than an 8. What do you think? The service won't drop. It's going to become easier for you, easier for me, and allow me to do more content. I can show you the cards that I'm grading, why I'm grading them. I can show you the cards that I'm grading with PSA or SGC and why I'm doing that. I can show you different box openings and saying, not only are you going to make your money back from the box, but, oh, if you grade this, and then you can get this, and then adding more context. And I just want to do more of that. I want to do more of the stuff that I can sit here and it doesn't feel like a job. It doesn't feel like it's a chore. It feels like I'm having fun and it feels like I'm enjoying myself. Because a lot of the times I found, and again, I'll save that for another video, with a lot of the grading stuff, I sat there and I thought, why am I awake at 4 a.m. packaging boxes? This is boring and I'm not enjoying it. So that will always happen. I'm making ways to make that easier. But Jim Sports Cards UK won't be just a PSA and SGC grading service. I'll change the logo slightly. I'll change the name slightly for the overarching, because I am still a PSA and SGC grading service. There are very few people in the UK that know as much about grading as I do. And I will always offer that service, whether it's advice, whether it's grading your cards with me. I will always do that. But I'm not just a grading service. I'm Jim the Collector. So I really am looking forward to this change. I've spent long and hard and quite a few months now thinking about what I want to do and how I want to do it and how to move forward. And I'm really happy with what's going to come between now and December. I want to look back in December at my Instagram and my YouTube, that's the word, and look back and think, wow, look at the change. Look at how much happier I am. Because I look back at all of the YouTube submission videos, like half the submission videos I've done, I haven't even edited. Because to me, editing is boring. It's why this is a one take, because it's just easier to get it out. And I want to look back and think about all of the things that I had fun doing, all of the things that I enjoyed. I want people to look at that and say, I love the content, keep it up. So that's pretty much it. You'll be getting a lot more box openings. You'll be getting a lot more card talk, hobby talk, what I'm buying, what I'm selling, what I'm doing, all of that fun, enjoyable stuff. And then the grading's happening as well. We're just making it simpler and easier. So I guess the last thing that I haven't really covered is where I've been. I'll cover that more in another video. I've just been taking time off. I've been doing little bits and pieces here and there, but on the whole, I needed a break. I was absolutely burnt out. Like I said, doing 40, 50 hours of grading submissions a week. We were having hundreds of cards back from PSA and SGC every single week. And then it was making a submission video, separating it into whose cards were whose, then sleeving them, then packaging them up, then getting the postage, then getting it out, and then receiving new cards, and then getting those sent out. And then it all got too much and I had to take a break. And I'm really happy I did, because I'm in such a better place, much better place than I was 3 months ago. And so many of you reached out to check in. There were a few of you that ultimately weren't the nicest, calling me a scammer, saying I'm leaving the hobby, saying that I'm screwing people over, which I understand the sentiment. I don't understand the need. The large majority were really concerned and were really lovely. And those of you that have still got cards with us being graded, we're still working on getting those back. They're still sat at PSA. I think we've got 1 economy at the time of this and 2 regular. The regular's taken forever. I've got no idea why. But nothing's changing. We're still offering the grading services. You're just getting more. You're getting more. It's weird. You're getting more. I'm giving slightly less. It's a better balance. And I'm really excited to see what's going to come in the next 6 months. So you'll get a couple more videos this week. One about the London Card Show. One about the new grading process. And then maybe something else if I've got the time. But yeah, I'm excited. Also, you guys haven't seen it, but new addition to the wall. Signed Fred VanVleet shirt. Go Raptors. Anyway, this has been Jim Sports Cards, and I've been Jim. Cheers.